Welcome to Profit in Stocks 101. This is the featured stock ALXN, and I want to go through kind of how ALXN is currently behaving and how you can trade this stock. I want to show you a few things on the front of the page here that are noteworthy. The average volume is really good. It's 1.36 million shares average traded. We at least want to buy stocks that are having at least 250,000 shares traded a day, so this is well above that. The 250,000 shares traded per day shows good liquidity. It also shows that there's a lot of big mutual funds out there and hedge funds that are trading the stock. Anytime you have very light volume on average, then that means that the large institutions are not following the stock, are not plowing the money in there. This method of trading that I'm using always follows the big money. So that's pretty much the only thing that I need to look for there. I'm also looking for stocks that have went over a benchmark of $50 a share, or $100 a share, $200 a share, $300 a share, one of those round numbers. And this stock, I really started following it because it did make it above the $100 a share mark. And typically, if a stock could stay above that $100 a share mark or $50 a share mark, then you've got a really good chance of it going to the next benchmark, which is $200. So if this stock makes it to $200, we will make plenty of money on the stock. So I want to show you how it's been behaving. So I'm going to go here to historical prices. I use the Nicholas Darvas trading method. I modify the Nicholas Darvas trading method he uses 7 days. He counts off 7 days after a stock has made the highest high, and I count off 8 days just to give it time to form a little more adequate of a base. So I started picking this stock up a while back. I'm just going to jump right in here to the current play. Back in July, the stock ran up and crossed the $100 mark and made a high at $104.38 right here. If you notice on those historical prices, you've got what they have here is the date, the opening price, the highest price for the day, the lowest price for the day, and then the closing price there, and also the volume. So I'm using this to determine what the highest high and the lowest low is of each day. So going back here, when the stock made the high of $104.38, and then it did not make another high, so Nicholas Darvas would have counted off 7 days. I'm going to count off 8 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I'm looking for is between July 13th and that July 2nd date is the lowest low. So we see here the lowest low is $94.80. So I'm going to take 95% of $94.80, and that's where I'd set my stop loss as 95% of $94.80, which that puts me at 94.80 times 0.95. That puts the stop loss at $90.06 is where you place your stop loss. You might just be even, make it even $90 where you put your stop loss there. So as you can see, that would be the high and that would be the low. So there are your bands, or your top is 104.38 and the low is the 94.80. So then I'm waiting until it breaks through again, and I typically buy on the open of the 9th day. So I would have purchased the stock, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'd have purchased the stock on July 16th at 96.87. I think I actually purchased it on the 13th, right near the end of the close. So the stock has been trading up. It did break through it made a new high again of the 105.32, and then it kept on going, kept making another high. The highest high prior to that, prior to this recent on Friday, actually going through this 109.96. So it went to 109.96. It did not make another high for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. So that's the new high is 109.96, and the low would be the $101 a share right there. So that's my so then I would have moved my stop to 95% of $101, and the new high is 109.96. The low is 101, and so that was back on July 27th that made that high, and it had traded between the 109.96 and that 101, and had not broken through that 101 barrier for basically almost a month and a half, until Friday, September 7th. It did finally make it through that highest high of the 109.96, and now we're starting the clock over. So if it doesn't make a high on Monday, a new high on Monday, that would be day one, and I'll just continue to count those 8 days and pull my stop loss up. Hopefully it's going to keep going higher. So if you'll notice also, I put my stop loss at 95% of 101. So you take 101 times 0.95. So my stop loss is at $95.95. As you can see, when you're looking at the lowest low since this day here, we wouldn't have even come close to the stock backing up on 96, to $96 basically, or $95.95. So we're fairly safe now. I'm going to hopefully move my stop loss up again. Hopefully the stock will head up to 120, 125, and then as it backs up, after it doesn't make a new high, I'll count off my 8 days, and I'll set my new stop loss and hopefully bring it up and be in the money again. I'll add another position at the open on the 8th day if it doesn't, after it finally makes a new high. It'll probably take 3 weeks to play out. It usually runs up for another 2 weeks, keeping making new highs, and then it will settle back down, and I'll have a new high and a new low, and hopefully it will form a new base there, and we'll just keep right on trucking. As the market continues to go up, the stock will continue to go up. One last thing I like to always look at is some basic technical analysis. On a stock, I'm always looking to see, is this the highest high that it's ever been? Definitely is the highest high. It broke through, back when it broke through the $50 amount, it kind of got away from that overhead noise, which are those disgruntled investors that purchased right in here that want their money back. And so this stock is in the clear here because this is the max chart. Final thing I always check out is the income statement. We've got some great growth. You see why the stock is moving up. In 2009 it had revenue of $386 million, and now it's got revenue of $783 million. Looking at some operating income, great. We've got some great increases, $870,000 in profit in 2009, all the way up to $230 million in profit now. So we've got a great increase in profit also. So the stock's looking good on all fronts. This is almost a perfect stock. I've seen a lot of news articles that say this is a perfect stock. So I'm really excited about this stock, and that is the featured stock for the day.